All right, let's dive deep into Christopher Nolan's Interstellar. We're going to unpack the film's themes, the science, the impact it's had, and get ready for some serious mind-bending concepts like wormholes and black holes.
Oh, yeah. It's a film that really stays with you. Makes you think about humanity, where we fit in the universe, and the power of connection.
It really does. And Interstellar just throws us right into this future Earth, a world on the edge of collapse. But what's interesting is it's not some alien invasion or an asteroid. It's something much more, terrifying in a way.
Right, exactly. This blight, this disease that's killing all the crops, it reminds you of what we're facing now, with climate change and food shortages and those massive dust storms. Well, we're already seeing more deserts spreading across the world. Nolan isn't just making up a dystopia, he's showing us where we might be headed.
Makes you think, yeah. And then we meet Cooper, a former NASA pilot, now a farmer. He's a man of science, but he's also tied to the land, trying to provide for his family.
And he's not your typical hero, is he? He's practical, down to earth, devoted to his kids, especially his daughter Murph.
And Murph, she's not your average kid either. She's got this intuition, this feeling there's something more out there, something trying to connect with her.
You remember those scenes with the books falling off her shelf? She believes it's a ghost communicating through gravity, sending her messages, and that's what leads them to this secret NASA facility.
That's where things get really interesting. Turns out NASA has a plan to save humanity. Not just any plan, they're talking about finding a new home in another galaxy.
Talk about ambitious, right? And the key to it all is a wormhole, this cosmic shortcut, a tunnel through space-time. They've found one near Saturn, maybe put there by some advanced civilization.
Near Saturn, wow. Makes you wonder who put it there, why, and what's waiting on the other side.
And that's what Cooper and his team have to find out. They're going through that wormhole on the Endurance spacecraft, searching for habitable planets.
It's a huge gamble, but it might be humanity's only hope.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole thing about black holes, how they warp time and space. Interstellar really brings that to life, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And they did it with incredible accuracy, thanks to Kip Thorne, a top physicist. He worked closely with Nolan to make sure those black holes, especially Gargantua, were scientifically sound. They even created new software to render Gargantua based on Thorne's equations.
So those visuals, that swirling vortex, that's not just artistic license, it's actually what a black hole might look like.
Exactly. But what's even more mind-blowing is how they explore time dilation.
Time dilation, yeah, that's where things get tricky.
It's all about relativity, Einstein's theory. The closer you are to a massive object, like a black hole, the slower time moves for you, compared to someone farther away. Remember that scene on Miller's Planet?
The water world.
Yeah, they think they're only there for a few hours. But because of Gargantua's gravity, every hour on that planet is 7 years back on Earth. So when they return, 23 years have passed.
It's heartbreaking. To be gone for what feels like a day and come back to find your children are older than you, that's a huge sacrifice.
It really shows the scale of their journey, physical and emotional, makes you think, what would you sacrifice for humanity?
Yeah, what would you give up if it meant saving your species, even if you might never see your loved ones again? Those are tough questions. But Interstellar isn't just about science. It's about love, too. That powerful human connection that endures.
Oh, absolutely. And it gets really philosophical, exploring the idea that love is more than just a feeling. It's a force that can transcend dimensions, like between Cooper and Murph. They're separated by vast distances, by time itself, but their connection remains.
It's like love becomes a language they can use to communicate.
Exactly. And then there's the suggestion of these fifth-dimensional beings maybe manipulating events, guiding humanity. It's a mind-blowing concept that love, or something like it, could be part of the universe's fabric.
And then we get to Cooper's journey through the black hole and the Tesseract.
That's where things get really trippy.
Absolutely. It's like Nolan is pushing the boundaries of science and imagination, asking what's really out there. But I have to admit, I'm still a bit confused about how Cooper ends up in Gargantua.
Well, remember, they were running out of time and options. Cooper makes a selfless choice, detaches from the Endurance, and lets himself get pulled into the black hole. He hopes to get data that could help humanity.
Talk about a brave move. But isn't a black hole a one-way trip?
Usually, yes. But in Interstellar, Cooper doesn't die. He finds himself in a Tesseract.
A Tesseract. I'm picturing a glowing cube, but I know it's more complicated.
It is. It's like a multi-dimensional space beyond our normal understanding of dimensions. Imagine seeing all of time laid out, not as a line, but as this vast, interconnected web. That's the Tesseract. And inside it, Cooper can interact with Murph's bedroom at different points in time, using gravity to communicate.
So he's like a time-traveling ghost sending messages from inside a black hole? This is intense.
It is mind-blowing, right? And through that tesseract, Cooper sends his daughter the quantum data to complete Professor Brand's equation. The equation that might be the key to escaping Earth.
So we've got wormholes, black holes, time dilation, multi-dimensional spaces, gravity, communication. Interstellar keeps you on the edge of your seat.
It does. It blends science and emotion so well. It makes you think about what's possible if we push our knowledge and embrace human connection. But maybe we should pause here for now. There's still so much more to discuss about Cooper, Murph, and the search for a new home.
So we left off with Cooper sending that data from inside a black hole using the tesseract. It's such a powerful scene, visually and emotionally. But what happens to Cooper after that? Does he just stay stuck in that multi-dimensional space?
Well, the film takes another turn here. It suggests that those fifth-dimensional beings, the ones who might have created the wormhole, they close the tesseract, and they send Cooper back to our solar system.
Like, thanks for the data. See you later.
Yeah, something like that. He's rescued near Saturn, but decades have passed since he left. It really highlights that time dilation thing. For Cooper, it's been a short trip, but on Earth, a whole generation is gone.
It really makes you think about how time is relative, huh? But what about Murph? What happened to her during all that time?
Murph becomes a brilliant scientist, played by Jessica Chastain, you know. She dedicates her life to solving Professor Brand's equation, using the data her father sent. And her work leads to humanity developing the technology to escape Earth's gravity and build space stations.
So both Cooper and Murph are crucial to saving humanity. It's a testament to their bond, that connection that survives even time and distance.
Absolutely. And their reunion is so moving. Cooper, still relatively young, meets his daughter, who's now an old woman on her deathbed. It's joyful, but also heartbreaking. They've missed so much time together.
It shows that even with all this advanced science, interstellar travel, it's human relationships that matter most. But does the film end there? With everyone safe in those space stations?
Not quite. It ends with a sense of hope, of new beginnings. Cooper, driven by his spirit and a promise he made to Amelia Brand, sets off on another mission.
Wait, Amelia Brand, the scientist who went through the wormhole with him. What happened to her?
While Cooper was in the Tesseract, she went on to that last possible planet, Edmund's planet. And the film ends with Cooper going after her, determined to find her and continue the search for a new home.
Interesting. The film doesn't say for sure if Edmund's planet is habitable or not. It leaves you wondering, gives you a sense of possibility.
Right. It's like Nolan is saying the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
Exactly. It reflects that spirit of exploration that drives the whole film. It reminds us how much we still don't know, how much is out there to discover. But Interstellar isn't just about science and space travel, is it? It also deals with some really deep philosophical questions about time, the meaning of life, even fate versus free will.
Oh, definitely. You see characters struggling with those questions throughout the film. Are we destined for certain things, or do we have the power to choose our path? Those fifth-dimensional beings suggest some level of predestination, but the film also highlights human choice.
Right, like Cooper entering the black hole, Murph working on that equation. Those actions show that we can have a real impact on events, even if there are forces we don't understand.
Exactly. It's not as simple either. It's a complex interplay between fate and free will. Our choices matter, but there might be things at work beyond our comprehension.
And that's what makes Interstellar so thought-provoking. It doesn't give you all the answers, it makes you wrestle with those questions, think about the mysteries of existence.
It really does.
And it does it all with amazing visuals and a soundtrack that stays with you.
A truly immersive experience.
But before we wrap up our discussion on the film itself, I'm curious, what do you think makes Interstellar resonate with people so much, even years later? Why does it spark so much discussion and debate?
I think it's because it touches on these fundamental questions we all have about humanity's place in the universe, our responsibility to future generations, the meaning of love and connection. It challenges us to think bigger, to consider the vastness of space and time. But it also reminds us of the importance of human relationships here and now. It speaks to our curiosity and our emotions.
That's a great way to put it. It captures the essence of Interstellar, what makes it so powerful and enduring. But there's another aspect I want to explore, the film's portrayal of humanity's relationship with the environment.
That's a constant theme throughout the film, for sure. That dystopian Earth is a warning about what could happen with climate change and environmental damage.
The film doesn't shy away from showing us a dying world, the dust storms, the failing crops, the desperation. It's a reminder of how fragile our planet is, how we need to take care of it.
But even with that bleakness, there's a glimmer of hope. It suggests that even with huge challenges, humanity can innovate, adapt, and survive.
The characters, those scientists, engineers, explorers, they all believe we can find a way forward, overcome those challenges, and ensure humanity's future.
It's a powerful message. It speaks to our potential, to our ability to solve problems and create a better future. But we need to act now, make responsible choices, work together.
And I think that's a perfect segue into the final part of our deep dive. We've talked about black holes, wormholes, love, the human spirit. But like the universe itself, there's always more to explore, more to understand. So we've talked about the science, the adventure, the emotions, all the things that make Interstellar so gripping. But there's one more layer I find fascinating, the film's take on our relationship with the environment.
Yeah, it's definitely there throughout the whole story. That vision of Earth in the future, it's not just a setting, it's a warning about what climate change could do, how we're impacting the planet.
The film really shows us a world in decline, doesn't it? Dust storms, crops dying, that feeling of desperation. It makes you realize how fragile our planet is, how we need to take care of it.
But even with all that, Interstellar still has a sense of hope. It suggests that even with those huge challenges, humanity can find a way. We can innovate, we're resilient, we can survive.
The characters, like the scientists, engineers, the explorers, they believe we can overcome these problems and make sure humanity has a future.
Exactly, it's about our potential. We can solve these problems, create a better world, but we have to act now, make the right choices, work together.
And that leads perfectly into the last part of our deep dive. We've talked about black holes, wormholes, love, the human spirit. But just like the universe, there's always more to explore, more to learn. Interstellar also tackles some pretty big philosophical questions, doesn't it? The nature of time, the meaning of life, even fate versus free will.
Oh yeah, those are all there, and you see the characters struggling with those questions. Is everything already decided, or do we have control over our own lives? Those fifth-dimensional beings suggest some level of predestination, but the film also shows the power of choice.
Like when Cooper decides to go into the black hole, Murph working tirelessly on that equation. Their actions show that we can influence events, even if there are forces we don't understand.
It's a complex thing, isn't it? It's not just fate or just free will, it's this mix of both. Our choices do matter, but there might be things happening that we just can't grasp.
Interstellar doesn't give you easy answers, does it?
Yeah.
It leaves you thinking about these mysteries, the big questions about life and existence.
It makes you think, for sure.
And it does it all with those stunning visuals, the music that sticks with you. It's a truly powerful experience.
Absolutely immersive.
And I think that's a big reason why people still connect with Interstellar all these years later. It touches on these core questions we all have about our place in the universe, our responsibility to the future, what love and connection really means.
It makes you look up at the stars, doesn't it? Makes you think about how vast everything is, but also appreciate the connections we have with each other right now.
It speaks to our sense of wonder and our emotions. It's a film that sticks with you, makes you think bigger, consider the possibilities, and never stop questioning the world around you.
It really does.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Interstellar, I'm left feeling amazed and curious. It's a film that celebrates human ingenuity, the strength of the human spirit, and the power of love and connection, even across time and space.
And maybe it also leaves us with a sense of responsibility to care for our planet, for each other, and to never stop exploring, questioning, reaching for what's out there.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Interstellar. We hope you enjoyed exploring this incredible film with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Keep looking up, keep asking those big questions.
Yeah.
And keep searching for your own truth out there in the vast universe.